Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. On today's show, we got some training camp news and rumors, updates on one player in particular regarding his injury status, and hey, we got a football game to play on Saturday, so lots to cover on today's show. But before we do that, if you are a real one, type real one in the comments and pick up a real one Chiefs shirt. We got them available, sizes all the way up to 3XL. Chatsports.com/realkc. Pick your Real One t-shirt up today at the link below, chatsports.com/realkc. If you're a real one, type real one and order your shirt right now. All right, let's get to some injury news on Jody Fortson. He is back. He returned to practice at St. Joseph today. First practice since exiting on July 30th. He's been dealing with a quad injury. Good to see him back. I think that's the most important thing. I don't expect him to play Saturday. It's a quick turnaround. One practice in. Chiefs off days, maybe a walkthrough tomorrow, but no real practice. Didn't have a full workload for him today. So I would expect that he would get geared up for the next game, which isn't until next Saturday. So that seems more likely. But he's back in enough time where he should be able to move up this depth chart. I think it's very plausible that he can be tight end 2 for this football team. Now, obviously, he would play a different role than like a Blake Bell, for example. If it's a short yardage running situation, the Belldozer is going to be in there over Fortson. But I think as a receiving weapon, that is what he can be on this football team. He can be a guy, 2 tight end sets, 2 or 3 receivers, spread it out, get Fortson out there, let him work the seam, let him get one-on-one coverages down the middle, and I think he can be a real weapon, especially in the red zone as well for Patrick Mahomes. I'm excited to have him back. Good to see him back out there after missing just under 2 weeks. How excited are you for Jody Fortson in general? Scale it from 1 to 10. I'm at about an 8. I'm a little cautious because the Achilles last year, and he's had this little quad thing the last couple of weeks here, but I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm pretty excited for the young converted tight end, former receiver. Let me know. Scale it from 1 to 10 down in the comments. Pinned comment on today's video. All right, next up. This is more in the rumor category, but there's some evidence to suggest this could happen. Could Ronald Jones get cut by Kansas City? He was working with the third-string offense today. Not a very good sign whatsoever. Pete Sweeney had that note. Want to give him credit. Tweeted out, Chiefs long drive period in today's look. CEH, Derrick McKinnon, Isiah Pacheco, all reps with the first team. Derrick, Gore with the second team. Ronald Jones with the third team. So not only are McKinnon and Pacheco getting first-team reps, they're also getting second-team reps. Derrick, Gore is getting second-team reps. Ronald Jones, RB5 based on today's practice. I think it's very realistic at this point to consider that his roster spot may be in jeopardy. I think that's a very, very real possibility, which I did not think could be the case after they signed him. They gave him money to push CEH. You look at his past couple of years. Last year, he wasn't as impactful, but in 2020, almost had 1,000 yards and a 7-touchdown season for Tampa Bay, and now all of a sudden, he was brought in here to push Edwards-Helaire, who's been a bit underwhelming at times and injury-prone through 2 seasons, to push him as the starter. He may not make the team. He may get cut from the 53-man roster. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I did not see this coming. The fact that Jerick McKinnon was signed less than a month ago, the Chiefs basically didn't even know if they wanted to bring him back. He's already surpassed him. Derrick, Gore getting reps ahead of him. The rookie Pacheco's been shining throughout camp, so I'm not necessarily surprised by that one, but yikes. I mean, he is firmly on the bubble. Not looking good for Ronald Jones right now. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Type K for keep Ronald Jones or type C for cut him? I'm going to go bold. I think he gets cut, man. If Pacheco shows out in the preseason, I think he's a pretty close to a lock to make this team at this point, and he can solidify that with the strong preseason. Derrick, Gore, if he has a strong preseason, can make it over Jones. Things are heating up at the running back position. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will have a 53-man roster projection probably early next week after the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Bears. By the way, we have a full preview, things to watch out for already on the channel. Go check that out. The latest news and rumors, we publish videos like that on a daily basis, and we go live every single Monday throughout the season. So join us every Monday, 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. We won't be live for this first Chiefs game, but we will have, I believe, live watch parties for the second 2 preseason games and as many games as we can get to during the regular season. So join us for those as well. Just a few reasons to subscribe. A big reason as well, it's 100% free. We don't charge you guys a dime. Speaking of Isiah Pacheco, you know who's hyping him up? QB1, Patrick Mahomes, who spoke to the media earlier today. He likes what he's seen from the 7th-round rookie out of Rutgers. This quote is short and sweet, but I think very telling. When you're big, fast, and smart, usually good things happen. And we've heard about that size and speed combo for Isiah Pacheco. And we've heard the special teams coordinator, Dave Tube, talk about it. Andy Reid's alluded to it. You know, he's about 6 feet, 250 pounds, and he ran a sub 4.4 at the combine, and that has showed up on his during his reps at training camp. He is going to have a role. Isiah Pacheco is going to have a role on this football team. I think he's going to be the starting kick returner probably. We'll see how he handles those duties during the preseason. If he does well, I think he's got that spot unlocked to replace Byron Pringle as this team's kick returner. And if he keeps making plays within the offense, he's going to have to get on the field in that way as well. The Chiefs, they just do this, right? They just find these weapons out of nowhere. I mean, 7th round back out of Rutgers, just kind of throw a dart, Brett Veach does, and now he's basically a lock to make the team and probably have a role on this team. So very, very interesting to see how these things can come together. We'll see what he does in the preseason opener against the Chicago Bears. That is set for 2 days from now, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Central Time at Soldier Field in Chicago. Bears 3.5-point favorites, over under set at 35 points. Now, as far as who's going to play in that game and how long, Andy Reid did say today that the plan is to play the quarterbacks a quarter each. They got 4 on the 90-man roster, play them a quarter each. I'll give the side eye a little bit there. I'd be surprised if Mahomes played a full quarter, but typically he does play Mahomes in the preseason, and he'll probably at least get the first drive, maybe 2, if the first one's like a 3-and-out or something like that. We'll see how much he plays. I'm fine with him playing some. I wouldn't play him too much, though. Like, quarter would be absolute max for me. I don't think he needs to play any more than that. Now, Mahomes did say he would like to play. He says, I like to get in there and get hit one time. Once you get hit once and kind of see what it is like to get hit again as a quarterback, you're kind of good to go. And I do get what he's saying. Obviously, you don't want him to get blindsided, but, you know, maybe he gets pushed to the ground or something like that. He's like, oh, okay, I got 270-pound edge rushers that are going to be in my face all season long once again. I'm used to this. So I do get that aspect of it. So we'll see how much some of the key guys play, but just nice to have football back, isn't it? Even if it's the preseason, always fun to see the guys get after it and see what they can do. Predict the score for the preseason opener. Who's going to win and what is the final score going to be? Chiefs, Bears on Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Central Time in Chicago. Get those score predictions in, and we'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.